Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 872 Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I put onto YouTube. This battle was fought back on the 6th of May, get ready for this, 2010. So this battle is 14 years old. As you watch this battle, see if you can see any tactics or strategies that might be different today in comparison to back in 2014. There's some great players in this game, and it should be a really exciting battle for you to watch. As you can see, it's fought on a flat, featureless map, and I think this battle looks like it was hosted by Brotherhood member Turbo. Okay, now their first teammate is Brotherhood member Turbo. Now he's got 16 infantry and 4 cavalry. Okay, 16 infantry and 4 cavalry, so he's gone heavy on the infantry there, so he's going to have a lot of firepower. This is kind of like a very typical Turbo army. He likes his infantry, and as I say, got a lot of firepower there. I think it's from the KWR battles that a lot of you know about. He likes bringing that infantry-based army. Okay, their next teammate is someone who called himself Sulfuric Acid, but is in fact Brotherhood member EthEth. Okay, so it's Brotherhood member EthEth. Now he's got 15 infantry and 5 cavalry, so he's gone quite infantry based there as well. He's got a lot of firepower. I'm guessing the cavalry probably, yeah, just 7 upgrades there. An experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. You'll find that most cavalry back in the day had an experience stripe on. I think these days cavalry, a lot of cavalry have just got gold shield, gold attack on. So that's EthEth's army there from 2014. Sorry, 2010, 14 years ago. And their last teammate is Brotherhood member Vlad. Now Vlad has got 13 infantry, 5 cavalry, and a peasant unit. I always used to think of Vlad as the peacemaker. If ever he saw people arguing in the lobby, he always tried to help kind of solve the problem between the people, like. And he was the type of person that did like to try and sort out arguments between people. If you notice here, you'll find he's got mixed upgrades. He's got gold shield, gold attack on some of his infantry. On others of his infantry, you'll see that he's got an experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So he has got mixed upgrades. Also, I'd like to show you that he's got a peasant unit here. Now remember, as long as that peasant unit stands its ground, it has soak-up pilers as good as any other expensive unit. So I'm expected to see that peasant unit incorporated into his pilot shield units during the course of the battle. I'm guessing probably 7 upgrades on his cavalry. There you go, an experience strike, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. So there's a Brotherhood team. SBQ all purple, easy for you to see what's going on. And here is the other team. We have King's Conan. Now King's Conan has got 17 infantry and 3 cavalry. Remember, Conan was the co-founder of the Brotherhood, but he left the Brotherhood I think around about 2008 and formed the King's Clan. And make no mistake, this King's Clan that he formed were full of elite players, and we had some really great battles fighting in the King's Clan. The Brotherhood did. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry. He's just got gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. But with 17 infantry, as you can appreciate, that's a lot of firepower he's bringing to the battlefield. Once again, I think that's kind of like a KWR army, you know, when you play 60k Rome versus Rome. Okay, now their next teammate, if you notice, it's got some unusual tags. If you notice, lowercase o, capital O, lowercase o first. Just to let you know, it is not First Prime. I've checked with First Prime, it's not First Prime, but it's somebody who's called himself First. Now he's got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. And as I say, that is unusual tags there of that particular clan. I can remember it a little bit, but I can't remember much about that clan. And there you can see that he's got a legionary first cohort as his general there. Okay, that's unusual today to see that. And as I say, he's got 14 infantry, 6 cavalry. Unusual cavalry formation there, would you say? Unusual, isn't it? I think a little bit there. So that is first. And their last teammate is once again the lowercase o, capital O, lowercase o, and this is someone called Mike. Now, if it's the Mike that I'm thinking of, he was a really good player, and he was really advanced kind of with the spear factions. I think he was very good with Carthage. He's got 16 sacred band spearmen and 4 cavalry in this army. But also, if it's the Mike that I'm thinking of, he was really good with Egypt and mastering the use of chariots. Very, very good with chariots he was. If you notice his forward units here, his Pilar Shield units just got 2 upgrades on. The reason for that is he knows they're going to take the Pilars and make first contact with the enemy, and they're going to basically die, really. So I don't think he thinks it's worth putting much money on those forward units there. Okay, that's why they've only got 2 upgrades on there. The next line has only got gold shield, gold attack on there, so obviously better upgrades there, but not great. But then if you go further back into his battle formation, you'll see he's got 8 upgrades on, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, so that's his battle formation there, and I'll just explain why he's got lower upgrades on these forward units. As I say, they'll make first contact with the enemy, they'll take Pilar damage, hopefully they'll weaken the enemy, and then he can bring his elite, well upgraded units in to finish off the enemy. I think that's why this battle formations is set up like this, because that's his plan with Carthage. As I say, if it's the Mike I'm thinking of, he was very good with spear factions. So there you are, the enemy are the red Julii, the blue Scipii, and Carthage. So you'll be able to tell who's who as you watch this battle. As you can see, the Brotherhood team are all purple SBQR. This should be a cracking battle for you to watch. Let's say 14 years old. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a look at the Pilar Shield units in front of the main battle formations from 14 years ago. So there's Turbo, look, just 2 open order infantry units in front of his main battle formation. Do you think anything's changed much in 14 years in that regard? There, once again, you can see that EthEth has just got 2 units in open order in front of his main battle formation. Do you think, you know, that's what you see today, or do you think there's been a change in that? And if you notice over here, you'll see that Vlad has just got 1 unit in open order there, and I'm presuming he's going to put that peasant unit, he's going to incorporate that in his Pilar Shield unit as well. Maybe he may well even put those 4 units in the front of his battle formation in open order if it's needed there. I just thought it was interesting looking at the battle formations from 14 years ago. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I think you're going to see that the spear faction, Carthage, will move to the center of the enemy team's battle formations there. Back in the day, the spear and pike faction always went in the center with the Rome factions on the flank. That was kind of like almost like an unwritten rule there. And you'll see that Carthage there is going to move into the center between Conan and First there. As I say, this was kind of like something that always happened. If you had a spear or pike faction in your team, they always went into the center. I think you see a bit of that today, don't you? But back in the day there, it was like, as I say, like an unwritten rule. Pike, spear faction to the center, Roman factions on the flank there. And I think that's because obviously the Roman factions are so flexible, aren't they, with cavalry and infantry. They're probably better suited on the flank if you've got pike and spear factions in the center. Pike and spear factions will hold your center, you know, pretty well all day, whereas you know, your flanking Roman troops there can be more maneuverable and flexible on the flank there. As I say, probably the SBQR general there would like to get close to Carthage to throw loads of pilers in there. So it'll be interesting to see what tactic the Brotherhood team uses against this other team during the course of the battle. Should be a good one to watch. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you'll see the Brotherhood team and the other team kind of facing up to each other here. It'll be interesting to see who strikes first. We know Turbo and Conan can be very, very aggressive, so it'll be interesting to see if things kind of kick off on the other flank there. Here you'll see Mike moving his Carthaginians forward here towards EthEth's infantry. Of course, EthEth's going to throw a lot of pilers into those 2 Carthage Pilar Shield units there, as you can see. Unusual, isn't it, to see, I think, Carthage being advanced towards a Roman army. I don't know, do you think you would see that today? Because the Carthage general knows he's going to suffer a lot of casualties from pilers. But if it is the Mike I'm thinking of, he's, as I say, very confident with the spear factions. And as I say, he was very, very good with Egypt. He was very good with the chariots, so it could well be him. Here you'll see the Scipio general there being very aggressive. Look at that. That's first there, moving forward onto Vlad's forward units. You'll see Vlad running that peasant unit forward there. It wouldn't surprise me if he put those units in the front of his battle formation to open order. There you are, can you see? He's put them into open order there because he's going to take a lot of pilots. And remember that units in close, tight formation suffer a lot more casualties from missiles than units in open order. That's why we have units in open order as our pilot shield units there. And as I say, you can see Vlad putting those units in open order because he's certainly getting a lot of pilots there from the enemy Scipii troops. He's put one unit into Testudo there at the front of his battle formation. As we move over here and over onto the other flank, you'll see it looks like Turbo is charging one of his units into the forward units of Conan there. Let's say with Conan and Turbo both facing each other, there could be a lot of trouble there. Remember that Turbo is Lando today. That was Turbo's old name there, but of course you'll know him as Lando today. Okay, and here you'll see, as I say, a lot of pilot exchanges going on between the two armies. And there you can see that unit in Testudo that Vlad's put there. But this Scipio general here first, he seems to be quite aggressive. There, the way that he moved his army forward straight away to kind of attack the forward units of Vlad. They're very aggressive. Here you can see Conan charging his cavalry there, routed one of Turbo's infantry units already. Pause the game for a second here. So as I say, here you'll see that Mike has taken like a mini army, if you like, forward there to hold the center. But if you notice here, he's keeping this Carthage army in reserve, so he can move that reserve Carthage army either onto the right flank to support Conan, or move it onto the left flank to support Scipio first there. Also, he's got his cavalry there to back up that secondary army as well. So he could move that entire force to one flank or the other to support his teammates. You don't see that very often today, do you, on the modern day battlefield? Nice thinking there, nice tactical thinking there. As long as his first army can hold the centre, that's the main thing, isn't it? And then he's got the flexibility to move his secondary army around the battlefield as he wants. Let's say still a lot of pilot exchange going on here between Vlad's SBQR unit and first Scipio unit. Over here on the other flank, it looks to me like, if you look at Conan's red Julio infantry, it looks to me like he was thinking of flanking there. I don't know what you think. It wouldn't surprise me if Turbo kind of countered that move and moved infantry over here. There you go. Can you see here Turbo moving infantry over here to counter Conan's possible flanking action there? Nice tactical move there by Turbo. As I say, remember Turbo is today's Lando. Okay? But when Turbo first started playing Rome Total War, that was the name he was, Turbo, but today he is Lando. Okay, here you'll see, once again, pilots going into those Carthage units. But as I say, I think Mike seems very, very confident, doesn't he, with the Carthage units there. I think a lot of modern day players would be very wary of suffering casualties from Roman pilots, but he seems to be very confident. Now you'll notice that Conan's given up that flanking idea and has moved closer to his Carthage ally there. Now you'll see here that Mike looks to me like he's in a holding position there with that army of his in the centre. Okay, and as I say, you can see first here, it looks to me like he's got one unit coming around the flank here. And there's a little bit of skirmishing going on at the front of both armies there. But as I say, you can see Mike's army there. As I say, looking at it's a holding force there at the moment, if you notice there. And you'll see that EthEth has got units into Testudo advancing into the spear and into the spear units there. Now this is something that used to be done a lot. That was like kind of like the way that Romans attacked pikes and spears was putting the units into testudo and then attacking the spear or pike units there. As you can see what EthEth is doing there, he's taken a couple of his units out of testudo. He kind of marched into the spears in testudo, then took them out of testudo there to actually fight. So be interesting to see what happens in the center there actually. Over here on this particular flank, like you can see, looks like Vlad's going to charge his SPQR cavalry in there. Get ready for this, and bang, as he smashes in there. Only trouble is he could suffer some pilot damage. There they are. You see there the pilot damage. His cavalry could suffer pilot damage there, but you can see Vlad being very, very aggressive with his cavalry. Routed 2 of the enemy Scipio units there. But he would have suffered casualties from enemy pilots there, but maybe that was worth it to rout those 2 units. Now you can see the Scipio general first moving some of his units forward there, being a bit aggressive. You can see that Mike has brought some of his Carthage units over to that flank to help first there. Nice bit of teamwork there. As I say, you can see Mike has brought his general forward. Okay, now bearing in mind this is 14 years ago, brought his general forward to give general morale bonus to that centre army that's holding its ground. Okay, so that's a nice move there by Mike. And you can see there could be potentially a lot of pilots being thrown into those Carthage units there. And as I say, he's moved units over to the left there to help his ally. And he's got cavalry there which he can move to either flank. So it'll be interesting to see how he uses his cavalry there. Keeping them back in reserve at the moment, but as I say, that one Carthage army in the centre is a holding army there, and from what I can see, SPQR cavalry charging again like a bang as Vlad's cavalry smashes into the advancing enemy Scipio infantry. And you can see, as I say, this guy first seems to be very aggressive, but also very confident in the way he moves his army forward. Have you noticed that? I think the enemy team pretty good players from what I can see here. As I say, 14 years ago, so they do seem to be pretty good players. A lot of cavalry build up here of Scipio and those Carthage Sacred Band units, but you'll notice that EthEth has brought his cavalry over to help Vlad on this flank. There's Vlad charging in once again, look, with his SPQR cavalry, and bang, as he smashes in there. I see Vlad being very aggressive here to counter the aggression of the Scipio first. They can see Carthage units being brought in. You can see Scipio cavalry looking to charge in as well. And then he veers off with some of his cavalry, but charges some of them in at the same time there. Can you see that cavalry penetrating Vlad's infantry? Okay, now here you'll see that EthEth is bringing over several units of infantry to help Vlad. Great bit of teamwork here. And he's got his cavalry already over there to help Vlad. This is one of the reasons I wanted to show this battle. Great teamwork here. And here you'll see, as I say, that Carthage army is in holding mode there against EthEth's SPQR infantry. You can see that Conan's brought a couple of his Red Julia units over to kind of help. And as I say, you've got the Carthage general there giving morale bonus, a general morale bonus there. Now over here on this flank you'll see Turbo and Conan kind of skirmishing there, but if you notice, can you see Turbo keeping reserve, full fresh reserve units there, and you'll notice that Conan's keeping full fresh units there as well, ready to throw in. So it's kind of like they're copying each other's tactics there, I think. And as I say, you can see the Carthage holding the centre there, and as I say, the Carthage General Mike's brought 4 of his Carthage units over here, 4 or 5 of his units over here to support his Scipio ally. And as I say, you can see that EthEth has brought some of his units over here. Sulfuric acid, remember, sulfuric acid is EthEth. And he's bringing units over to help his teammate Vlad. See, Vlad's got cavalry on the flank here, looking to charge into the flank of those engaged enemy troops. Nice hit there by EthEth's cavalry there, routed a couple of the enemy units. Oh my gosh, here comes Vlad's cavalry in on the flank like a bang as he charges in there. But that Carthage spear unit, that anti-cavalry spear unit there, may well have caused him some casualties there. You can see here the enemy bringing some units on the flank, and you can see an awful lot of enemy cavalry kind of locked and loaded, ready to charge in. In the center here, though, it looks like EthEth is kind of breaking through, doesn't it? I can see at least one SBQR unit has broken through the Carthage ranks there and is attacking the Carthage general. You see the Carthage general there being attacked by one of EthEth's infantry units there. So they've kind of broken through in the center. And over on this other flank here, if you like the right flank, as I say, you can see Turbo and Conan there being aggressive to each other, and you can see that Turbo's got his 4 cavalry ready to throw in if needed there. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens on that flank. Meanwhile, on this particular flank here, you can see, as I say, a build-up of enemy cavalry, but both EthEth and Vlad here have got their cavalry there as well to counter any cavalry attack by the enemy troops. As I say, you can see EthEth's brought a large amount of units over here to help Vlad against the joint attack of Carthage and Scipii. As I say, a lot of enemy cavalry on this flank as well. But as I say, in the centre here, you'll see a lot of Carthage units have routed there, and I think EthEth has done well. He's kind of almost broken the centre of the enemy there. And I saw Mike had moved his general back so it doesn't get attacked. There goes some Sacred Band cavalry, like a bang, as it charges in to some of EthEth's infantry there. And you can see some Scipii cavalry getting involved. Plus you've got Conan's cavalry charging in there as well. Look, and bang! And there's that Scipii cavalry going in there. Look, and bang! Make no mistake, they'll be going for EthEth's general there. Can you see his SBQR general there? They'll want to be trying to kill him. You can see EthEth charging his cavalry in. But you can see that Scipii infantry unit that was there kind of blunted that cavalry attack a little bit there. Oh my gosh, this possibly could be the make or break of the battle. Whoever wins here, you can see the Scipii general being charged in there as well. Oh my gosh. Right, good news for the Brotherhood team. The Scipii general's general has now been routed. So that's good news there. So that stops the general morale bonus there from the Scipii general. In the centre here, you'll see that it looks to me like the enemy team have kind of stabilised that centre a little bit, and Conan's still holding well on that right flank against Turbo there. As you can see, Conan's still got fresh units, fresh full units he could throw into the battle wherever he wanted to. But as I say here, you can see I think they're still going to go for EthEth general there. You can see his SBQR general right in the thick of the battle. And I can see the Carthage general closing in on him as well. So very aggressive, attacking cavalry and infantry here. Here comes Vlad cavalry in again, look, charging that in, and bang, as he smashes in to the enemy Scipii cavalry and infantry that are there. You can see the Sacred Band cavalry there locked and loaded, ready to charge in. You can see several Scipii infantry units being brought over here to try and blunt the SBQR cavalry there, and you can see that SBQR cavalry engaging the Sacred Band cavalry there. Fierce fight going on there. Once again, can you see the Sacred Band cavalry charging for EthEth's general? Can you see that? They're going for EthEth's general there, trying to take the general out. Pause again for a second here. Okay, so here you'll see that it looks to me like EthEth has broken through the centre here. Him and Turbo there, I think, got units through. And it looks like Conan's trying to plug the gap with some of his Julii infantry there. But you can see that the SBQR infantry have broken through. Here you've got the Carthage Sacred Band cavalry charging in. Make no mistake, they're going for EthEth's general there. Sulfuric acid, don't forget, is EthEth. Brotherhood member EthEth. Looks like they're going for him. You can see the Carthage general there fighting as well. Probably fighting to try and kill EthEth's general. But over here on this particular flank, you can see Vlad and EthEth's units there fighting both Carthage and enemy Scipii troops. They're trying to push through maybe on that flank. If they push through, they could break through there maybe. But there's stuff going on all over the battle. Bearing in mind it's only a 3v3, there's a heck of a lot going on. There's cavalry hitting EthEth General again. Oh my gosh. I think, if I'm not mistaken there, they've just routed EthEth General. Okay, so that's bad for the Brotherhood team, because of course the Brotherhood team are now going to lose a general morale bonus there. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if they kept pressing the attack and killed his general. They're just probably not happy with routing him because he might rally there. And it wouldn't surprise me if they pressed on and actually killed his general there. There you go. Pressed on and killed him. That made sure he's not going to rally. So that's it. That's the SBQR general of EthEth there. Will not be able to give any more general morale bonus. And okay, on this flank here, you can see that EthEth's got some units around the flank. May well attack that Scipio unit. But if you look at the enemy, at the Brotherhood team, the SBQR infantry here, if they really push forward, I think they could break this flank. What do you think? If you look at the number of SBQR units there, as I say, if they aggressively push forward, I think they'd break the flank of the enemy troops there. There's a Turbo charging his cavalry in there, or some of his cavalry, and bang, as it charges in to Conan's infantry there. Here you can see the Sacred Band cavalry of Mike charging in. As I say, I think Mike has been using his Sacred Band cavalry extremely well around the battlefield. Held them back, kept them fresh, until he felt he needed to use them during the course of the battle. Brought them in just at the right time, full fresh units, used them extremely well. But as I say, on this flank here, I think if the Brotherhood team really push forward, looking at the numbers, they could well break this flank. There's some cavalry charging there into those Carthage units, like a bang as they charge in there. But over here you can see the Carthage Sacred Band and Conan's cavalry charging in there. Oh, there's some good news there. Conan's general has been routed there, so that's good news for the Brotherhood team. As I say, take out the general morale bonus. If you notice here, Turbo keeps his general at the back. Can you see? Keeping it out of the fray. So he's still close enough to the action to be given general morale bonus, but he's actually keeping the general out of the battle. Nice tactic there from 14 years ago, and that's something that you see today, isn't it? And here you'll see Turbo bringing units around the flank there of Conan. Nice move there by Turbo. I just hope we're going to see the battle results of this battle. As I say, some of these old battles charging in there like bang. Some of these old battles you do see the battle results at the end, but sometimes it just says replay finished. Because don't forget, they're playing this battle on CDs. You know, playing the RTW from the CD, and they're playing on GameSpy servers as well. So as we've talked about these old battles in the past, when they play on Steam, they sometimes just don't show the battle replays. So, but it'd be interesting to see what the kills are on here if we do see the battle replays. Here you can see a couple of Scipio units there. Our first is there as well. So it'll be interesting to see if EthEth's going to charge in there. You see Conan's infantry here moving across. Actually, if you look at the battle in general, this battle is still up in the air a little bit, maybe, on which way it's going to go. It'd be interesting to see if Turbo's going to charge those units into Conan's Julia units there. Let's say Turbo and Conan's been fighting quite a lot on this flank right from the beginning of the battle there. Now if you notice here, can you see that Turbo's got his units lined up? I don't know whether he's resting them or whether he's just waiting then to charge in, maybe waiting for the enemy troops to get more tired before he charges his units in there. But over here you'll see Conan's red Julii troops and first Scipio units there fighting the Brotherhood SBQR team. I think the Carthage general has just admitted defeat. Yeah, there you are. I think the Carthage general Mike has just admitted defeat. Well, I think most of his army is dead there, and that's why he's admitted defeat there. And as I say here, You can see Conan's and the Julio units and the enemy Scipio units still fighting. Oh my gosh, that's the end of the battle there. Look. Can you see the replay's finished? So, oh, that's a shame, isn't it? So disappointing, isn't it? Because this battle was right on a knife edge. Which way was it going to go? You can see here there's still Scipio units there with the Scipio general there, I think. Plus you got all those Julio units fighting the SBQR units of the Brotherhood there. So you can see one of the Brotherhood units routing. There's a couple of Brotherhood units there of EthEth. Looks like he was going to charge in. There's battles over here. Look, the Julio units there of Conan. But if you look at Turbo's units here, ready to charge in there, I would think overall, looking at the battle here, that the Brotherhood team, the SBQR team there would have won, I think. If we look at the battlefield here, remembering it's only a 3v3, looks like a very intense battlefield here, right from one flank to the other. You can tell how intense the fighting is by just the carpet of dead you can see here as we move across the battlefield. There, just look at that massive pile of dead there. As we move right from one flank to the other there, you can see there's a heck of a lot of dead. Oh my gosh. As you watch this battle, did you notice anything different from 2010 to 2024? Did you see tactics or strategies that might have been different today than what they were then? Because I'm sure tactics and strategies have evolved over 14 years there. And I'm pretty sure that there would have been things maybe done differently today than what there was then, possibly. But I'd be interested to see who you think would win this battle. I think just looking at the numbers, that the Brotherhood SBQR team would have probably won that battle. And as I say, it is a bit disappointing that the battle results don't come up on some of these old battles. Because I know a lot of us like to see, you know, who got what kills and things like that. But let's say, I hope you enjoyed this battle from 14 years ago. Just to say, we play Rome Total War every Friday and Saturday night. If you'd like to join us, you would be more than welcome. Please leave your comments. It's nice to read what you think of our battles.